I've been feeling so down, yeah. Can you tell me why?
Hey guys, welcome back to another mukbang from the thechosisters. Good to see you guys, we've missed you. And for today's, we're having my favorite, dim sum. I definitely missed it during quarantine.
We're also going to be giving some non-expert advice. So some of our viewers submitted relationship problems. And me and Katie, we love to talk about these things. Like we read Reddit, we read Facebook, and we just discuss. And you know, on dim sum, a lot of people gossip during that time. Even though we're kind of gossiping about your problem, we're all hopefully learning from it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's great that we get to review the ones that's been submitted, and I hope that our non-expert advice will be helping you guys out as well.
Yeah, so please take these advice with a grain of salt. Okay, do not sue us, because we were just random people on YouTube.
Yes, exactly. It's lighthearted fun.
Yeah. So let's get started on our dim sum. We need tea, of course.
Yes, of course. Let me get that for you.
Thanks.
What am I gonna choose first?
I think I'm gonna have my favorite, which is the rice noodle roll with beef. That's just so delish. Oh my god. And then I'm gonna have some hot sauce on top.
I'm gonna dig in with the barbecue pork puff pastry. I missed this so much.
So should I get started? I'll go with the first one. So this problem was submitted by Mama's Boy Lady Friend. She is a 50-year-old woman in Toronto. She wrote, "My live-in boyfriend is a mama's boy. It drives me crazy that he calls her more than 5 times a day. Is always doing something for her before he looks after himself, us, our home. She calls us at 6:30 a.m. to wake him up and in turn me. When we argue, he says he wants to go back home to his mama. So fed up. Major turnoff, not attractive. Also, he says his mom is number 1. She's an emotional vampire that is all about herself and adds zero value to my life and drains us both."
I'm so sorry that you're dealing with this. I think it's kind of hard. I think it's kind of good that in some ways he's a mama boy. That means he respects women and that he has a really close relationship with his mom. But he's also an adult. And you think he could live with his life, I'm not saying without his mom, but more so of not needing a wake-up call from her. And I think that's a man-child. But I don't want you to feel like you have to interfere in a way that will strain your relationship with your boyfriend and also with the mother, because she will always be in your life if you continue seeing this boyfriend. You mentioned that the mother adds zero value to your life and drains us both. But what do you mean by drain us both? Because he's the one who's going to his mom. So I'm just wondering, is he enabling this type of relationship?
Right. Some questions I wish was answered was, did you communicate to your boyfriend that his mom is an issue, that he would need to set boundaries? But the fact that he says his mom is always number 1 and he always runs back to his mom when there's an issue, like I understand how that's such a turnoff, and you have to examine like the pros and cons of a relationship. Is this relationship problem worth sticking around? Because even though you're 50, like you have so many options. There's online dating now. You could, find someone new. I know that's very extreme, but I think if he does not set boundaries and you're so unhappy with his mom and how he deals with his mom, like feeling that you're not even prioritized at your home, that's a major red flag for me. So I would say like set boundaries. There needs to be a compromise between you and your boyfriend if you really want him to stick around. Her calling every day, like I think that's kind of weird, especially 6:30 a.m. Like he should if he really wants to be a mama's boy and talk to his mom every day, he should find time himself during the day with privacy to call his mom instead of her waking you guys up at 6:30 a.m. You need to talk to him and he needs to set the boundary with his mom. If he doesn't, that's another problem that you have to talk it out with him. In the end, you don't have a relationship with his mom, you have a relationship with him. And you can't control really what happens between you and his mom, right? So he has to deal with it. That's his mother.
And he has to understand that his mother is not going to resolve the relationship for him. It's himself and you. And he has to understand it's a relationship between you two. I'm not saying to cut ties with his mom. I'm just saying that when you build a new relationship, it's you and yours only.
But also maybe something to do to really make a point to him that it's really important for him to make that boundaries is you set a boundary for yourself. Tell him like, if your mom keeps calling you at 6:30 a.m., he needs to sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
So you won't be waking up.
I think ultimately there has to be a compromise between both of you because both of you are in this together as a relationship. Communication is key, so definitely bring that up. And you have to bring it up constantly. If he argues, if he says like, I'm going back to my mom, let him open that door and say, here's the door. No one's stopping you.
Yeah, help him pack.
Go. You know, don't let him waste your time. You have to wear the pants in the relationship and take charge and let him know that he's not gonna waste your time.
I think that's a really important point because if he knows that you're not afraid that he's gonna leave, then he'll be more afraid to leave. I feel like it's a scare tactic. And also, I hope you could ask yourself, because I'm guessing since you're 50, he might be around the same age and his mom would be even older. Okay, I don't know how old his mom is. Sooner or later, his mom is gonna pass. Will his mom still be number one? Will you be a priority? Because right now in the message you sent us, you made yourself sound like you're not a priority at all almost. And I feel that in a serious relationship, especially when you're living together, you need to be a priority. Good luck and thank you for submitting in your question. All right, we have another question.
This is submitted by Jealous Social Butterfly. They wrote, hi thechosisters, I'm always the type of person that likes to bring groups of people together. My friend group is very diverse, but they have one thing in common, they're all good people. Lately, I've noticed one of my friends is inviting my friend group to her gatherings and texting them. I don't know why I feel weird about it. I know we're not in primary school and that isn't a competition, but I feel like she's stealing my friends. She meets someone at one of my parties and all of a sudden they're best friends. She doesn't exclude me, but at the same time, I don't know any of her friends and I don't know who she hangs out with. We're not that close, but now she's getting close to all my best friends and they always ask about her. Do I have the right to feel weird? What would be the right thing to do here?
I think you have the right to feel weird. It's natural to feel a little jealous. And I think because in general you have like a lot of friends, you might be used to a bit of the spotlight. And that's okay, everyone deserves to be in the spotlight, right?
Yeah.
And I think at a time when you notice that your friends are really liking her, you feel like, oh, what if your own friends will stop liking you? Maybe it's that feeling, I'm not sure, I'm just guessing here. But I think the fact that she's not excluding you, that's a good thing, you know? Yeah. And it just shows that you have really great social skills. You help someone to connect with other people. And I think something that you could do is ask the friend stealer to meet her friends, because you said you don't know her very well. Yeah. Just say like, hey, you met my friends, I would love to get to know the people that you know. If your friend says they don't know a lot of people, I just hope you have the understanding they're just an introvert and they hope to find a group of friends and hopefully you and your groups of friends will be that. If you're not that down to it, then I would say you could invite her less to your parties. I don't think it's a big deal, it's your party. Yeah, and I think I totally understand, I know what you mean. I've in a way felt this before or experienced this type of thing before. And I kind of think to myself that ultimately people are just trying to get to know each other, but you're right, like this person could be an introvert and they're just trying to know more people and they don't know how, it's by meeting other people. And I know some of my friends, they don't have a lot of friends and I include them to social circles because as you said, they are good people. There's no harm to just getting to know another person. And Sarah's right, please, you could also ask like to meet her friends. But ultimately, I think it's a natural feeling to have. In the end, your close friends are your close friends and you know them, they know you, and I don't see any harm to it. There's something I want to add. I went through a similar experience where I kept inviting one of my friends to meet my other friends and they all become friends with her. I remind her, but you don't invite me to see your friends. And she didn't even realize, she was so oblivious to it. And then she's like, oh, I didn't know you were interested to meet my friends. And like, I don't know if you would like my friends. Anyways, you seem like an awesome person. And I think you'll realize that you are like the flame to the butterflies or whatever. And people are attracted to you, so don't worry about someone stealing your friends. Yeah, exactly. Like,
if you're the one who's attracting all these people and you're the one who's social butterfly,
You're like introducing them, then
yeah,
you're the center.
Exactly. And I think they're very grateful that you're there in the picture, to be honest.
Yeah, I totally agree. So thanks for submitting your question, Jealous Social Butterfly. So the next question we have is from FRSNK2, I'm guessing Frank 2. He is a male, 33, from Toronto.
We're gonna just change one of the words just because we want to keep it PG.
Oh, how about adult wrestling? That's what they used to say on the radio when they wanted to keep it PG.
Okay.
So he wrote in, his girlfriend said the adult wrestling, wink wink, is only good and wants an open relationship. Think this could save a relationship?
I've never met anyone with an open relationship, but I've heard that open relationships are healthy in some relationships. I think this is something that he needs to have a conversation with his girlfriend and make sure that they are very communicative and very open about if they wanted to do this. This is a partnership between two people that in agreement to try out an open relationship. It can be healthy in certain ways and it could help open a different door to both of you that you never, tried or ever experienced. But it's a very borderline area that you has to be clear, concise, and discussed and agreed upon with two parties. But it can help a relationship, but it also could kill it. If you feel like you love this woman and you want to continue a relationship with her, you may have to think about, are you willing to be okay for her to go try it out? And if you wanted to go try it out.
She wants to try it out and he doesn't, but he really wants to keep her, so he's willing to try it out.
Then it's not a healthy relationship.
Right? Like
that's agreement upon two parties. Is that if you're okay to share your partner with someone else.
From what I've heard from podcasts and listening to other advice shows, and I think it totally makes sense. I think open relationships only work if the two parties are completely open to it and is enthusiastic to it. I feel like if one is really turned off by it, but they're just doing it to save the relationship, I hate to tell you, but I think that won't work because I don't think you'll be as happy with the situation. Because here are things that could happen. So she's your girlfriend and she meets other people. Will you still be her number one compared to the other partners? Because some open relationships, they are still each other number ones and everyone else is just extra people that they spend time with, right? Yeah. So if she is with this other guy and you have an emergency, you called her, will she be willing to drop that guy in that second and come help you out? That's a thing you need to consider. What if she meets someone that she likes more than you? What if she meets someone and you're not able to meet someone that's willing to chill with you like that? And then you'll be like always trying to find someone and then she'll be with these people entertaining her. So I think those are things that you need to figure out yourself, but those are very important things to consider.
Well, I wanted you to add more into the statement. I wish you added the other line if you guys are emotionally invested in each other, because this only states that you guys are physical and intimate and that's the only good thing and wants an open relationship. Like, what does that mean? Because if she's not emotionally invested in you, then I don't see an open relationship saving it. Because if she's looking for more, then something's lacking. But what is lacking? Did she tell you what is?
What Kay means is that, like, since we don't know any much, it gives the impression that what you notice is only about the adult wrestling. Look to what else is important in the relationship and what's going on in those areas. It's not only adult wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay? But thanks for submitting your question. We wish you good luck.
Good luck.
It's better than I thought it would be.
This is with custard and egg yolk.
I know, it's
It's like both.
So what is this called?
I think it's custard and salted egg yolk.
It's so good. This is one of my favorites now. It's been around forever, but I discovered it this year because I never tried it.
The last submission is by Frustrated Employee. They wrote, what to do about a mean coworker who bullies others? Management refuses to do anything as this lady has been working there for a long time, more than 10 years. She has received numerous written complaints from various employees of the organization, yet management refuses to act. Do I quit and find a new job? I quite like the company aside from this one woman.
Even though there were multiple complaints about this woman to the company, and they refused to really do anything about it, it sounds like this co-worker of yours is performing really well, and they want to keep her. And they want to keep her happy. And that's the thing. You need to outperform her, and I believe in you. Other than that, I think you have to ask, like, how long do you want to work there for? If it's a short amount of time, I would say, like, suck it up. Maybe talk to your coworker and really kill her with kindness. Because some people are mean because something negative is going on in their life. But if you kill them with kindness and they're still mean to you, man, then you know she's real. But like, I think when you're super kind to someone who's being mean, they might realize, like, why am I being mean to this person? Why is this person being so nice to me? And then they might chill a bit in that front. And that's kind of what happened to me. I had a very short gig. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I worked with kind of unpleasant people. I knew I was ending my gig there soon. It was a short gig anyways. So I just like was super nice to this person. I kissed their butt. And guess what? They did back off. They stopped being mean to me. And we kind of ended our interaction on a positive note when I left work. But if you're gonna be there for a long time, I think you do have to kind of approach this person being like, hey, I just feel like you don't like me or something.
Yeah.
Be nice about it. Be the bigger person. Just say like, look, I want us to have a really great working relationship. What can I do to help you? I know that sounds really weird, but like, if you're interacting with this person, obviously then your work affects them. So I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but just say like, is there something that I can improve on to make you happier? You know, and if they're still being terrible and your management is not doing anything about it, then I feel like you're definitely welcome to look for another job. Keep in mind that everywhere you go, you're not gonna like everyone. So
there's always like one bad bean in, you know, in the bag. And you really can't run away from that. There isn't a perfect workplace, unfortunately. One bad egg doesn't mean the rest of the people are bad, right? And I think that accounts to it. And I work with amazing people, and sometimes there's gonna be politics in the office, but it's probably like so minimal because in the end, I work with great people, and I hope you do too. You know, more than one. You're so nice because in my head I was like, be confrontational, but I'm not a confrontational person. I always just imagine these confrontational like situations, but you're right, you have to kill them with kindness, and or give them the silent treatment. No offense, like if they're not accepting your kindness and they're not reflecting it back, that means they're just a very negative person, and that's just how they are, and you just have to live your life and not allow this person to beat you up, because in the end they're the one who's unhappy and they probably see you being happy, and why are you being so happy? It's like not fair or something.
Yeah, that's what their thought is.
And that's why they like picking people, because that's what gives them motivation to stay at this job or like be better, think they're being better than other people. But in the end, they're just steeping themselves to such a low because everyone knows about this person. And if you're not, and I'm sorry, like I learned this from people, is that if you're not nice to people and you intentionally bully them, karma's a B. And it really comes back, and I do believe in that. And she doesn't write, you know, your evaluations, or she has no right of telling you what to do or anything like that. So just stand by your ground. Just be nice, and if she isn't, you know, reflecting it back on you, then just walk away.
I think we have somewhat, like the first approach is be nice, but then the second approach we have different is, Katie said be silent, get the silent treatment, and mine is be confrontational, but try to be nice about it.
Does she have any connection with HR?
Yeah, does she have connection? No, not only HR, like management. Yeah, that's something you have to ask yourself. And also, like, you have to ask yourself and reflect on how much does this job mean to you? So some people could take stress at work, and then when they're done at 5 o'clock when the day's over, they could leave all their stress at work and just, you know, but some people hold on to it. And if you hold on to it, then I would say definitely look for a new job.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a bite of the durian pastry. It's not for everybody because it smells so good to me, but everyone says it stinks like feet.
I know. I think it smells sweet.
It tastes sweet too.
Oh yeah, when you go try to find a new job, make sure to secure that job before you leave this one. Because you can always go to the job you're thinking to quit and say like, hey, I got offered this, maybe even with more money, hopefully. And then they say, what if your management asks you, why do you want to leave? You could use it as your exit interview, that bully, and maybe they will do something about her, hopefully. Yeah.
And another thing is why we have to be careful with conversations is that how small is your industry? Does everybody know each other? And the fact is that do you want to create a situation or an issue or conflict that would be a domino effect in a way that this person knows so much people in the industry that it could affect your future endeavors? Yeah.
True.
You just never know.
But it sounds like, since so many people complained about this one bully, if anything, she has a bad reputation other places.
Yeah, well,
she's working for a long time, I know.
She's working here for a long time. She's well maintained, and you know, if management's not able to do anything, does that mean you work in a unionized place? Just saying, like.
Yeah, I wonder. I actually thought about that too.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong being in a unionized space, but I think people with a rep like that should have some discipline or consequences.
Yeah, accountability.
Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, we wish you best of luck, and hopefully that this person will not affect you moving forward just because
you deserve better.
Yeah, you deserve better, and this person doesn't live your life. You live your own life.
So to the frustrated employee, thank you for submitting and good luck. To wrap this up, I had a good time discussing these problems with you, Katie, and I hope you guys had a good time listening to these juicy stories. Please leave a comment of what kind of advice you would give to the people who submitted their problems in. If you want to submit a problem, we're going to leave a link in the description box, a Google form. You can leave it anonymously.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and press the like button and press the bell for the notifications. Bye.
See ya!
Say it like you mean